Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Larry Thor starring in an episode of Broadway-is-my-beat, going back 72 years to June 16th, 1950. This episode is entitled The Morris Bernstein Murder Case.
Broadway's My Beat. From Times Square to Columbus Circle, the gaudiest, the most violent, the lonesomest mile in the world.
Broadway's My Beat, with Larry Thor as Detective Danny Clover.
There's a time on Broadway when the fury dies, the revelers give up, and the street is an empty corner of a faraway world. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, the time of yesterday's newspaper drifting with the night wind, the time of the tired shadow and furtive sounds dimly heard. And you walk it because you're a policeman and your day's just over. You turn a corner because it's the way home. And some of the shadows melt into a man, and you're glad because it's a man you know.
Hi, Danny.
John, how are you?
Fine, you?
Good. You got your transfer, huh?
Yeah, and I like it. I guess I'll always be pounding a beat and shaking doors. But I like doing it better here. What's new, Danny?
I don't know, John. Same, I guess.
Yeah.
From down the street, probably just...
Help me!
Come on.
Right over there. Someone's in a hurry to leave. That car, no light.
Here's what they left. This man's been badly beaten up.
Call box down the street. I'll get an ambulance.
Wait. No need.
Dead?
Yeah. Go over him, John. See who he is.
Okay. Did you notice that truck in the alley, Danny?
Yeah, I'll take a look. Find anything?
No wallet. Looks like he was beaten for it. You?
The truck's a bakery truck. The Felder Bakery.
It's not far from here, on 1st Avenue near 39th. It's on the beat.
Yeah, this man in white shirt and white pants could be a delivery uniform.
Sure, they're open 24 hours a day.
Call it in, John, then stick with it. I'll get over to the bakery. Maybe those people can tell me something.
They told me a man wanted to see me. You the man?
Yes, Mr. Felder?
Louis Felder. Look, friend, I'm sorry I can't help you. I got all the men I need to handle what I got. I suggest you try the Bakers Union. Try the union.
I'm from the police, Mr. Felder.
Oh, I'm sorry. No disrespect intended. Just that so many men come in asking me for work. If there's been a complaint, our product, one of my employees...
Truck 12. Who drives it?
12? You mean tonight?
Tonight.
Yeah, I'll find out.
Hey! Who was on 12 tonight?
What do you want?
Who drove 12 tonight?
Well, just a minute. Morris had it tonight.
Oh, of course. Morris Bernstein. Good man. Certainly, Morris has...
He's dead. He was killed.
Morris? In an accident?
His truck was torn apart. He was beaten to death.
Oh, I've been afraid.
Of what, Mr. Felder?
Something like this would happen. One night they would beat a man until he died.
Who?
Hoodlums, rat pack, we don't know. Happened to another one of my boys last week. They turned over his truck, threw the bread into the gutter, attacked him.
I'd like to talk to him.
Naturally.
Sid? Sid Norman? Still here?
Yes, okay. Want me, Mr. Felder?
Yeah.
A little bit later. I should be out in the route.
This man is from the police, Sid. Morris was killed tonight.
Beaten up?
Why did you say that, Sid?
Well, because it follows. It happened to me last week, but I was lucky. I ran away from him. Morris probably stopped to reason with him. He was that kind of a man.
Could you recognize any of them, Sid?
No, they jumped me when my back was turned. I was gathering up loaves of bread, sweet rolls, things like that, and something hit me in the back of the head. I didn't stop to say hello. I just ran.
How many were there? Could you tell me that?
Oh, 4 or 5, maybe. Punks, just kids. I could tell by their voices. Gee, the kids nowadays. They gather in rat packs and kill.
Mr. Felder, any reason this should happen to your trucks, your men?
I don't know. Maybe it's because my men are out alone at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't remember ever doing anything wrong. Excuse me, please. Stop the machines! Stop the ovens! Don't work anymore today. Go home.
The Dan men didn't look happy. They looked worried. It was as if suddenly the scene were taking place in slow motion. The tentative movements, the glances, one man detaching himself from the rest, walking over to Louis Felder, then the rest forming a questioning circle around him. But Mr. Felder just shook his head and walked through the door. It was 4:30, and I went home. At 10 o'clock, I was back at headquarters. There was a man waiting for me in my office, just as I knew he would be. The fates had fashioned it that way. They'd grinned and put their heads together and conspired that Sergeant Tartaglia should always be waiting in my office when I closed the door behind me.
Here we are, Danny.
We are indeed.
I understand you had a pretty rough night of it.
You're going to brighten up what otherwise might be a drab day, is that it?
My utter best, Danny.
Thanks. What do you got?
This baseball cap found some 50 feet from the scene of the beating up, in the gutter. It might or might not have something to do with what happened. The last is my own comment upon matters.
Let's see it.
Yeah, Danny, here. If you will notice, on the inside there's a sweatband, and on the sweatband is printed in ink a name and address.
Uh-huh.
My middle boy, Rufio Tartaglia, did the same to his 3 propini.
Gabe Kirby, it says. 1412 West 18th.
That's pretty far from where Morris Bernstein was killed, Danny. So, like I said, this cap might or might not have something to do...
Let me find out, huh, Tartaglia? The address printed neatly in the baseball cap was a cold-water tenement, a scar, an open wound fashioned of peeling brownstone, of litter, of something that scurried under your feet, then darted into a hole. It watched you with bloodshot eyes as you walked up the stairs. Then at the landing, you heard it come out again. You knocked at a door, and a woman, haggard, resigned, told you her son Gabe was at school, the 16th Street Vocational School. And at the school, a man sighed, shrugged, walked away from you, came back with Gabe Kirby. He said you could use his office. He was used to it. Then he left you alone with Gabe.
The principal pulled me away from something very interesting. The secret life of a drain pipe. Plumbing two-way. Why did he do that?
Sit down, Gabe.
Oh, the courteous approach. I've been making a catalog how you guys approach us guys. Yours is a courtesy type. Glad to add it to my collection.
You've been in trouble before, Gabe. Lots of times, huh?
I wouldn't say lots. I'm only 18 years old. My share, though. Yeah, I had my share.
Yeah. This baseball cap belong to you?
Hey, you're a blue ribbon retriever. I've been missing that cap for a month now. How about that? I never dreamed I'd see that cap again.
Gabe.
I'm sorry, pal. I can't offer you a reward, but I'll even it up for you someday when conditions are better.
Gabe.
I thank you from the bottom of me heart for bringing back me cap. It's a good luck charm. My batting average...
Sit down, Gabe. I said sit down.
Okay. The approach changes. Huh, Mr. Policeman?
Where were you last night, Gabe?
Somebody broke into a grocery store last night?
Where were you?
I slept on an iron cot. All night.
Not at home, Gabe. Your mother told me you went home last night.
Oh, the old lady told you that. Thank her for me.
Where were you?
In a room over a garage. We call it a club room. I belong to a club. The Titans. Last night I slept there. We take turns sleeping there, we boys. To watch over a lot of things we wish we had.
You were there all night?
All night. From 8 o'clock on. You can check with Richie.
Richie? Who's he?
You don't know Richie? Mr. Richard Peel? An important man. He's the athletic director of the Titans. Volunteered for the job. He sets us boys a good example.
The other Titans, where were they?
Who knows? I was sleepy, so I went to sleep. Check with Mr. Peel.
Gabe, your cap was found 50 feet from where a man was killed. Beaten up and killed by a gang. A man named Morris Bernstein.
Morris Bernstein. And my cap was there, huh? Well, how about that? Check with Mr. Peel, Mr. Policeman. Over the Conway Garage on 20th. And now I hear Plumbing 2A calling me. You'll excuse me?
Hey, you looking for someone?
Yeah, I am.
Who are you looking for, mister?
Richard Peel.
You found him. You from the employment agency?
No.
Oh, I thought you were from the agency.
Police.
I thought you were from the agency. There's no phone here. They said they'd send a man over if anything turned up for me.
What do you do here, Mr. Peel?
What do you mean?
Well, this place, over a garage, empty.
Not empty, Mr.
Clover.
Not empty, Mr. Clover. Look around. We've got some equipment. Barbells, wall exercises. Enough for now.
This is where the Titans meet, huh?
That's right. We'll get it fixed up.
I still don't understand. What do you do here?
I thought you'd know by now. The boys need a direction. I try to give them that. Get them off the street. Organized teams, you know.
You like doing that?
A man has an obligation to kids. Haven't you ever told yourself that, Mr. Clover? Especially about kids who come up here without roots, broken homes, drunken fathers, and working mothers, or worse. It's my obligation.
Yeah, I suppose more people should feel the way you do.
Somebody has to. What am I telling you for? You'd know. Ever read any statistics on juvenile delinquency?
Uh-huh.
Then you'd be the one to know. These kids need something. To let them know their heritage, rights, things like that. Give them direction. They don't find that on the street.
There's a reason I came up here, Mr. Peel.
I know. Not many adults come up here. They're just not interested.
It's about Gabe Kirby.
Well, something's bothering you, I can tell. Just what about Gabe?
He said he was here last night, all night.
I know why he said that. Because he was.
Seems to me.
I know just what you're going to say. And it seems to you a boy 18 years shouldn't stay out all night. All right, suppose Gabe went home. What'd be there for him? The drunken father I told you about.
You'd swear he was here all night.
On that cot over there. And I slept on the other one. I assure you, Mr. Clover, if some young man got into trouble last night, it wasn't Gabe Kirby. You have my 100% word on that.
Mr. Peel found my hand, shook it, looked me straight in the eye 100%, and invited me to address a meeting of the Titans. The boys would appreciate friendly advice from a friendly policeman, he assured me. I mumbled something and got out. At headquarters, the routine of tracing down the murderers of Morris Bernstein gnawed at the day until there was nothing left but the nighttime. I gave it up and went home to sleep. That didn't work either, so I went back to headquarters. The files on rat packs, from a social point of view, from a criminal point of view, from a statistical point of view, educational. But no help in the murder of Morris Bernstein. So I thought I'd try to sleep again. At 2 a.m. it should come. It didn't. On the street back to it, a friend stopped me. Officer Rucker.
Hiya, Danny. Long day, huh?
Yeah. How's it been for you?
Quiet, Danny. Not a peep.
Nothing? Nobody?
I've been keeping a close eye on every person, every car. They don't look right, I question them. So far, nothing.
You'll keep on it, huh, John?
You told me to do that. It won't change.
Hey, good night, John.
Get some sleep, Danny. It'll do you good.
Danny, watch out! Stop! Quiet!
Danny, you all right?
Yeah. It just knocked me down. License?
No license, Danny.
I was blind. Didn't they see me?
They saw you all right. You're lucky, Danny, because whoever it was, they tried to kill you.
You are listening to Broadway's My Beat, written by Morton Fine and David Friedkin, and starring Larry Thor as Detective Danny Clover.
June 16th, 1950, Broadway is My Beat on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to Medi-Share for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And Medi-Share's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. Medi-Share is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it, find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues with more of Broadway is My Beat, starring Larry Thor, June 16th, 1950.
Night slips out of Broadway's fingers. Broadway is left alone, empty-handed and bewildered. The long, long day, 100% pure, 100% unadulterated, now walks the street and invites. So what's to do, kid? Well, there's the guy at the newsstand with the comic books and the hot tips. No. Well, there's the pinball machines and the flea circus. Well, there's the trash baskets with the morning papers. Try that. Day-old murder of a bakery driver warmed over for this morning's commuters. Nothing. A policeman run down by an unidentified car. Better. And at police headquarters, you try to readjust the adhesive on your ribs when the door bursts open.
Danny, what do you think you're doing? Leave the bandage alone.
Don't get upset, Dr. Sinsky. I was just trying to ease it a little.
Take your hands away from it. Here, let me look.
It's all right, isn't it?
Who did this job on you?
The boys in the police emergency hospital.
Oh, medical students, amateurs, college boys.
That bad?
As a matter of fact, it excites a certain envy in me, Danny. This is a very progressive way to apply a bandage to a cracked rib.
What are you doing?
Hurts, huh? That's good. Serves you right. You couldn't call your old friend Dr. Sinsky no matter what time of night. You don't approve of Sinsky's methods.
It's not that.
The next time someone tries to kill you, Danny, please call on me. Do that for an old friend, please.
You made a deal.
Contusions, abrasions. Well, this'll leave a small scar to make you interesting. Otherwise, you'll live.
Thank you, Doctor. I can button up my shirt now? What's the matter?
I called on you for another reason, too, Danny.
Yeah?
Here, let me help you with the buttoning. Yeah, Danny, we completed the examination of the body of Morris Bernstein.
And?
I won't bore you with medical terminology, but the man was beaten in such a way. A new way for hoodlums, methodically, systematically, beaten even after he sank into unconsciousness. Whoever attacked him, Danny, made sure Morris Bernstein would die.
Doctor, that slip of paper on my desk that Tartaglia just brought in.
Oh, of course.
There's an address.
2650 Riverside Drive. Who's Danny?
Morris Bernstein's. I'm going to find out why somebody wanted him dead. I beg your pardon, are you...
Whatever you want me to be, that's what I am. In this place... pardon me. Russell speaking. Again. Look, Mrs. Braverman, just tell Mr. Braverman to pull down the blinds. That's my only advice to you. How do you like that? Somebody wanted to look at Mr. Braverman. Now, what is your complaint?
My name's Clover, from the police.
Here are my wrists. Slip the handcuffs on them. Take me far away. Arrange solitaire.
You don't look like a criminal, Mr. Russell. You been working here long?
I'm a new boy. I'm just breaking in 1 month.
Did you know Morris Bernstein?
I read about him in the papers, about hoodlums beating him up.
I'm trying to find out something about
Well,
it.
I can tell you this. He lived in apartment 6, a 4-room apartment shared by 4 other gentlemen who had exclusive rights to use kitchen number 2A. Otherwise, it's a nice day, yes, isn't it, between Mr. Bernstein and me.
Anyone up there in his apartment now? Any of the 4 gentlemen?
I curtsied them all out on their way to work this morning.
I'll want to talk to them later.
About 7 o'clock, I think. That's when they'll all be home from the world. Another pardon, please? Russell speaking. Yes, Mr. Scarn, the mail is in. How do I know whether you've got anything? I haven't put it up yet. Well, all right, then. We'll wait for him. It's a rebel, Mr. Clover. He wants me to see if he has any mail before I put it in his box.
I'll wait.
Thank you. Let me see. Jordana, Westfall, Valentine. Look, Mr. Clover.
What?
A letter for Morris Bernstein.
Let me have it.
Surely. I can tell you who it's from. The girl whose name and address is on the upper left-hand corner.
I can see that.
Yes, but this girl, she's Morris's girlfriend. They write letters to each other, even though they could phone. This has been going on since the girl moved away from here.
Oh? When did that happen?
Oh, just before I came to work here. Someone told me. Let me see. Maybe Morris. Mr. Scarn, were you clicking? No mail, Mr. Scarn.
There was no more mail from Mr. Scarn, and sorry. No more information about Morris Bernstein. Very sorry. Try the girl, Leah Goldin, on the return address. Maybe she could help. Maybe Leah could. I tried it. At a rooming house on West 76th, a woman shook him up at a window and told me Leah Goldin had moved to another rooming house on West 90th, 2346 West 90th. It took 10 minutes. No Leah Goldin moved to a furnished room in a flat on 116th Street. A kid told me Miss Goldin was a nice lady. Gave him bubble gum, but was gone now. Moved. Don't ask nobody where, mister, because nobody knows. At headquarters, I put out an all-points bulletin on Leah Goldin. Find her, I said. What does she look like, they asked me. I added it up for them. All the scraps of description I'd salvaged in darkened hallways on the screaming street. Find her, I said. And at 1 a.m...
Danny? Danny, you're asleep?
No, Dr. Sinsky.
Oh, there's no time, Danny. They found Leah Goldin.
What?
The call came to my office routine.
Then she's...
No, Danny. Just hurt. How bad, I don't know.
Where?
In a vacant lot on Amsterdam Avenue. The man who found her said she was beaten up. The ambulance is waiting. I thought maybe...
Let's go. From somewhere out of the alleys, detaching themselves from the shadowed streets, from the unlit doorways, breaking away from the night whispering, they'd come. The seekers after someone else's pain. They stood in a circle, silent, hungry for the spectacle. Stood on tiptoe, strained for a look at the girl lying broken in a patch of weeds. Policemen held them back, and they murmured their seething protest. And in the building standing at the edge of the lot, windows had been flung open, heads poked out of them, and the gallery seats were filled. Dr. Sinsky pushed a way open for us, and they retreated from his fury. Then he kneeled at the girl's side.
And the conclusion of Broadway is My Beat, June 16th, 1950, comes up following these important words from your favorite station, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Broadway is My Beat, June 16th, 1950, in the Morris Bernstein Murder Case.
My case, Danny, a bottle. Give it to me.
This one?
Hey, yeah, quickly. Oh, so much blood.
Miss Goldin.
Not now, Danny, not now.
I'm sorry.
In the morning you can question her. In the morning, maybe.
What's all the excitement? The garbage man will move her.
Who was that? You up there in that building. Who was that?
Danny, I need help with the girl. But gently, very gently.
I nodded another officer into the building to look out for who had yelled down to us. To bring him to me. I'd be at headquarters. Then I helped Dr. Sinsky. Back at headquarters, I waited. The officer came in, reported no one in the building knew who it was that yelled. Then later, a couple hours later, word came down from Dr. Sinsky that I could talk to the girl. Miss Goldin?
You are Mr. Clover. The nurse told me. Before you sit down.
Yeah?
Will you crank up this bed so I can sit up so we can talk better?
Sure. All right.
Oh, pull it down. Oh, my back. I didn't realize. That's better.
I can come back later, Miss Goldin.
No.
All right. But if it's too much to talk now...
Please.
Who beat you up?
I don't know. Boys, young men. I'd never seen them before.
No faces you'd recognize?
No faces, but the names they call me. I've heard them before. In Europe.
Uh-huh. There's something else.
You want to know why I was running away?
We need to know it.
I was running away from a man.
Morris Bernstein?
No. Oh, no.
Then who? I don't understand it.
Wait. I lived at the same apartment house that Morris did.
I know, that's why we were...
I met him there, Morris. We went to the movies together and did things like walking and looking at each other's face. Something was happening between us, something... Morris hated the word love. He said it wasn't enough.
And why were you running?
A man worked there at the apartment house.
What man?
He wanted me to. He said that a nice girl like me shouldn't be spending all that money for rent. He said that.
What man?
Listen to me. One night he walked into my room. I tried to reason with him, but he wasn't hearing me, so I screamed. He ran away, out of the room.
Didn't you tell someone about it?
Morris had him discharged. He went to the owner of the building and had him discharged.
The man's name, Miss Goldin.
I don't know.
What,
The name they call him by, that's all. Richie. They called him that. And after that I ran, but he followed me. Wherever I ran, he followed.
You'll be all right, Miss Goldin. I'll try to make it that way.
Hey there, Mr. Clover. Come back to the clubhouse to look for me?
Yeah, I am. How you feeling, Mr. Peel?
I'll feel better after this. Ain't nothing like a workout on the barbells to make a man feel good.
Uh-huh.
You caught me in the middle of some repetition presses, Mr. Clover.
Press away. I'll wait.
Thanks.
Now?
Well, I relax between exercise, Mr. Clover. What's on your mind?
You are, Mr. Peel. That's why I'm here.
Oh, you want to hand me that sweatshirt?
We got a girl down at the doctor's hospital. She says you were bothering her.
Oh? What's her name?
Leah Goldin. She only knew you as Richie. The Titans, your club, calls you that, too.
Yeah, I know Leah Goldin. She got hurt, huh?
On account of you, Richie.
Oh, come
I'll
now.
tell you about it. You were after her while you were superintendent in her apartment. She got you fired, didn't she?
I quit that job. The people there... Well, you know.
Leah told Morris Bernstein about you walking in on her one day, so Morris saw to it you got fired.
People like that think they run the world, don't they?
People like you, Richie.
No, not me. Look at me. An out-of-work guy. Somebody waves a finger and I'm out of a job.
You figured a way to get back on them, didn't you? Volunteering your services to these kids.
Look, I'm cooling off. Time for my bicep building exercises. You want to watch out for a minute?
Leave him alone. I said leave him alone.
Hey. Clover, don't push me around.
Stand there and listen. The kids, Richie. You heated them up, fed them your poison, pointed out Morris Bernstein and Leah Goldin, and said sick 'em.
I did that, huh? Good for me.
With Bernstein. You were there, huh? You finished it up when the kids were through. Your boys, Peel. The juvenile authorities will want them.
You got a long way to go, Clover.
Just uptown. Get your shirt on.
That easy, huh? Oh, you're so... You're soft, Clover. You look big, but you're soft.
Like I said, Peel. Uptown. In the time of June, Broadway shimmers like an enchanted island. Night falls, and the wave of neon floods the streets, showers it with its light and color, the million sounds. And it ebbs. The pavements strike glints where dreams were caught in the mud. It's Broadway, the gaudiest, the most violent, the lonesomest mile in the world. Broadway, my beat.
Broadway's My Beat stars Larry Thor as Detective Danny Clover with Charles Calvert as Tartaglia. The program was produced and directed by Elliott Lewis. The musical score was composed and conducted by Alexander Courage. Included in tonight's cast were Harry Bartell, Maria Palmer, Barney Phillips, Jack Crucian, Billy Hallop, and Howard McNear.
What a cast, huh? June 16th, 1950, Broadway is My Beat on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just two of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of The Couple Next Door, Peg-Lynch, Alan Bunce, June 16th, 1950.
CBS Radio brings you The Couple Next Door, written by Peg-Lynch and starring Peg-Lynch and Alan Bunce.
Betsy, what are you doing? I asked you to put on your ballet costume and come downstairs so I can see if it fits. I am. Well, you're certainly taking your own sweet time about it. Now hurry up. Honestly, I'm so busy anyhow making all the headdresses for the spring bazaar with both that and your dance recital on Saturday. I'm nearly going wild. Well, finally. Come here, dear. Come here. Now I have to sew the ribbons on your new toe shoes, too.
Points, Mommy. Don't call them toe shoes. They're points.
Oh, my points. Stand still. Now, let me see. Yes, turn around. Let me see. Yes, I think the woman fitted it just right. How does it feel?
All right, I guess.
Well, what do you mean, you guess, honey? I mean, is it comfortable? Can you move in it all right? Are the straps on your shoulders too tight? Can you lift your arms all right?
I guess so.
Guess so. Well, it's a lovely costume. You look like pink sugar spun candy. Ballet costumes are so lovely anyhow. Isn't it beautiful? Don't you just love it?
I guess so.
I guess so. Really, I tell you, if I had something like this when I was your age. You children are all so blasé nowadays.
Well, it's scratchy.
Oh, scratchy.
It is, and it itches.
Well, where? I asked you how it felt, dear. Where's it scratching?
I don't know. Under my arms. It's too tight or something.
If I don't tie the ribbons over your shoulders tight enough, they'll slip down your arms. Let me feel. Here, lift your arm up. Oh, I can take that scratching. There's nothing under here to scratch. Nothing in the binding.
It does.
Oh.
It feels awful.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Some sequins that maybe... Well, that may be doing it. I'll try to fix that.
Can I take it off now?
No, dear. I want you to leave it on and go through your dance. You haven't practiced at all. Here, you have your dress rehearsal tonight.
Who's going to take me?
Your father. I'm busy making headdresses for the spring bazaar. Now get the Waltz of the Flowers record out and go through your dance.
You haven't sewed the ribbons on my shoes yet. They won't stay on.
Oh, well, get them and the ribbons while I get pink thread and needle. Sometimes I wonder if this is all worth it. You'll probably grow up to be a construction engineer.
What do you mean?
Nothing, darling. Let's hurry now so you can practice. Hi, dear. Did you see Betsy outside when you drove up?
Oh, yeah, hi. Golly, she looks cute in that pink ballet costume.
Well,
huh?
she isn't going to look cute very long if she gets it dirty. I asked her, please, to sit still while I sewed the ribbons on her new toe shoes, a point. Instead, she gallivants all over.
Well, darling, you're not so old you can't remember when you were little, and if you recall, it's just impossible to just plain sit still.
Yes, I guess so. Someone should do anyhow. I don't want her getting it dirty. We've got to have an early dinner. I hope you haven't forgotten you're taking her to her dress rehearsal tonight. Now.
Dress rehearsal? Me? Why?
For her dance recital. You said you'd take her.
Darling, I'm teasing. I remember I'm taking her.
Oh, don't do that to me, honey. I am just wild. I really
seems to me
am.
you've been just wild for the past 2 weeks.
I honestly don't remember having such a frantic 2 weeks and final exams at college. Really, I between the piano recital and the...
Yeah, well, look, that's over.
I know, but between that and the dance recital coming up and all this business of making 300 cute headdresses for my booth at the Spring Bazaar...
But we've got all the Indians done, 60 of them. I stapled feathers on those cardboard bands last night until I was doing it in my sleep.
Oh, there.
Didn't you get the pirates done today?
Done? No. What are you talking about?
Well, you've certainly been working. The living room's a mess.
I had 36 yards of red cambric material. First I had to cut each yard off, and then cut each yard in two diagonally to make 2 pirate headscarves. Betsy, will you get in here, please?
She's
really,
all right, she's all right. She's just out there talking to Bobby.
I know, but I wanted to
you
practice.
certainly made good use of that pen I fenced in for Brownie,
Oh,
huh?
yes, didn't I?
For the dog.
Wonderful. Bobby was so underfoot, I just moved his sandbox in there with the dog. He can't get out. He has loads of room to run around, and he and the dog play for hours, and I can keep an eye on him, you know. And I say, Betsy, really, would you please get your daughter in here and make her go through her dance at least once? She hasn't practiced all week. Get her started while I peel potatoes. You two have to leave here by 6:25. Miss Comer said dress rehearsal starts promptly at 7, and if she says it does, believe me, it does.
All right, Golly, I'll be glad when this week is over. Betsy, now get in here and practice your dance.
Honestly, I wondered why it was so quiet in here, and there you sit reading the paper.
Oh, is there a new law against it that I haven't heard about?
I asked her to make Betsy go through her dance, dear.
Well, she said she had to have music. She's looking for the record.
Well, can't you help her look? I had to get dinner started. And
Look, I don't know what to look for.
Waltz of the Flowers.
Oh, well, I didn't know.
Oh, you can't tell me you haven't known Betsy was in the Waltz of the Flowers ballet. How can
I don't know. I guess, I heard you mention it, but...
Mention it, really, dear. I do think you should take more interest in what Betsy does.
Sometimes I think you take enough for both of us.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing, believe
Well,
me.
I don't know where the record is. It isn't in Daddy's den. I looked all through the pile of records in the cupboard.
When did you last have it?
I don't know.
No, you don't know is right. If you would practice every day and put the record in a special place, then you'd know where it is. Now go upstairs and look in your room. Look on the... never mind, I'll go. It's just easy. Get your toe slippers on now and hurry up.
Now, don't make a face like that, young lady. You just do as your mother says.
Well, gee, she always wants me to practice. I know my dance.
Look, even the greatest ballerinas have to practice hours and hours every day.
Then I'm not going to be one. I'm going to be a nurse anyhow.
Well, all right, you can be what you want to be, but you want to take dancing, so you do what your mother and your teacher tell you. What's that? What are you putting in your shoes?
Lamb's wool. So when you get on your toes, it doesn't hurt.
Oh, I see. Well, you're teaching Daddy a few things. Yeah, and I must say you make a very pretty ballet dancer, even if you aren't going to be one. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing your dress rehearsal tonight. Now, tell me, do you dance alone?
Oh, no, Daddy. But you'll be able to see me because I lead my group out from stage right.
Stage right.
Uh-huh. There's 4 of us. Karen and Linda and Adrian. I lead them. We come running out and make a circle, touching hands. Then point our toes and bend forward like this. This is Pour de Bras. Then bend way back like a flower unfolding.
Oh, watch your back now. Oh, hey, that's very nice, yes.
I found it. I found the record. Here, put it on, will you? I want to get the card of admission. You'll need to get into the stage door entrance tonight. Tuck the ribbons of your shoes in, Betsy. I'll move this chair so you have more room to dance.
And don't forget, Mommy, Miss Coleman said you should put makeup on me and do my hair the way I'll be wearing it Saturday.
Oh, yes, I forgot. Then we should have undone your ponytail and curled your hair, Betsy, this afternoon.
Mommy, don't worry so. I'll just brush it out. It'll look fine because I have that pink flower headband anyhow.
Oh, yes, that's
Are
right.
you ready?
I've forgotten. What? Yes, we are, dear. Put on the music. Oh, nice.
Oh, boy. She looks like a picture, doesn't she?
Yes, darling. Just move that table back so there's a little more room. And listen, be sure you have paper and pencil with you tonight so you can take notes.
Yeah, all right. Notes on what?
Well, any instructions we have to have for the recital itself on Saturday, which we'll have to rush to after the bazaar. Oh. Very nice, Betsy.
Yeah.
Don't watch your feet. Keep your head up. Point your toe, dear. Well, point it more. Watch your hands. Remember what Miss Comer said, your hands are just as important as your feet in ballet. They must be just as graceful. Yeah. Keep your legs straight.
It is.
Get up higher on your toes, dear. Put your heel forward. Heel forward. You're pushing on it.
For Pete's sake, let her dance, will you? What are you, Pavlova or something?
I know when she's not doing it right. Keep your legs straight, Betsy. Now, in fact, both legs straight when you're doing an arabesque. Now,
My legs weren't straight.
You were bending your left knee. Now,
I was not.
Yes, you were.
Anyhow, I don't care. I'm not going to be a dancer anyhow. And I'm not even going to that old recital.
Betsy, now you come back.
Charlotte.
What is the matter with her?
What is the matter with her? What's the matter with you? Why don't you just leave her alone and let her dance? You were at her every second.
She can't be told anything. She wants nothing but praise. If you criticize her the least bit, she gets furious, and I think she should do it right.
Let the teacher tell her, then. In fact, it's a credit to the teacher that Betsy can dance at all, the way you mothers interfere. Now, look, I'm sorry, but I don't blame Betsy one bit. I couldn't do anything either if somebody criticized every move I make. I mean, Betsy got her toe slippers in December, if I recall, and already you expected her to be another Markova. Look, I'm sure that teacher doesn't expect it. And I'll tell you something else. Something is burning. Something's burning.
Oh, the potatoes! It's boiled dry. I can't do anything right today.
Well, we'll have a little talk about that later tonight.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, it was such fun, Mommy. Everybody had this pretty costumes, and there was an orchestra. And we danced on this big stage, and afterwards we went out front and watched the other numbers. And the dances were just wonderful, weren't they, Dad?
Yes, sir. I must say it all looked very professional. We didn't stay for all the dress rehearsal. I thought Betsy ought to get to bed with school tomorrow.
Yes, I think so, too. Well, I'm glad everything went well. And I am sorry, Betsy, if I was a little cross with you this afternoon.
Oh, that's all right, Mommy. I think you were just worried, but I didn't forget it, you see. I danced all right, didn't I, Daddy?
Oh, I should say you did very well. You did indeed.
Well, I've been thinking as I worked all evening on these bizarre things, and if you don't want to take dancing next year, dear, I mean, it's...
Take it? I'm going to be in junior ballet next year. I'll be in the Thursday afternoon class. Well, what I mean is, I'm sorry I was cross too, Mommy. I think we were all nervous.
Yes, we were, dear. Nervous. You go on up and get undressed and brush your teeth, and then we'll come up and tuck you in and say goodnight. Run along, honey.
We were all nervous.
Yes, nervous, yes.
Oh, well, I tell you one thing, she did fine.
Did she?
Yes, and for your information, I managed to have a word with the teacher, and she said that Betsy was doing unusually well. She made an excellent start on the points, which apparently is what you call those toe shoes.
Yes, points. Betsy's always correcting me.
And furthermore, Betsy has an excellent sense of music, and her arm and hand movements are unusually graceful.
No.
And in general, that if she continued to do as well as she's been doing, that Betsy could be a lovely dancer.
Oh. Well, I guess I was wrong.
No, I was wrong. Miss Comer also added that credit for Betsy's progress should also be given to Betsy's mother, who obviously had taken time to help her daughter practice between lessons.
She didn't say that.
She did. So
She did
help
not.
me. That is exactly what she said. I'm telling you. I told her I bawled you out for interfering, and she laughed, and she said she couldn't accomplish all she did with the children if she didn't have mothers as her assistant. So, I hereby apologize. I was wrong.
No, in a way you were right, dear. I should help more, without
Well,
criticizing
anyhow, I
so
took
much.
some notes. I took some notes, as you said.
Mhm.
Now then, the recital starts promptly at 8 o'clock. Performers should be there at 7 for makeup. All toe slippers points should be tied securely, loose ends all tucked in. Mothers should check costumes so straps don't come loose. After their numbers, performers, yes, they must not appear in costume, in the audience, except for the beginners in the Peter Rabbit numbers. All right, for them.
Do you think we're going to survive this week? Go
All
on.
flowers or ribbon headpieces should be fastened with several bobby pins.
Yes. All right. What time
The Couple Next Door stars Peg-Lynch and Alan Bunce.
June 16th, 1960, The Couple Next Door on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. You can stream our shows on demand, learn more about classic radio collecting, and contact me there. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. Thank this radio station, support their advertisers, tell your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.